What's up you guys, my name is Josh, welcome back to another toy review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Bandai Ultra Hero 500 series Ultraman. So you're probably thinking, but wait a minute, didn't I review this figure in the past? And to that, yes I have, but only this time I am actually going to be speaking in my videos from now on. I just thought that this would be a bigger step for my videos because, well, it's about time to kind of step it up a little bit. Since this is my sorta first time talking in these reviews, if I sound a little bit nervous, I deeply apologize for that. But forget about that, let's begin the review. For anybody who is not aware of what or who Ultraman is, allow me to explain. Ultraman first debuted back in 1966 and is part of the kaiju genre. Of course, since Godzilla was very popular around the time, it only makes sense that a little somebody make a TV show about, well, kaijus. Ultraman was created by E.J. Tsuburaya, who is not only one of the original co-creators of Godzilla, but was also in charge of the special effects department with the movie company Toho. While Godzilla was getting all the fame, Tsuburaya decided to create a short show called Ultra Q, which is the prequel to Ultraman earlier in 1966. As the show was famously known by fans as the sorta Twilight Zone of Japan, mostly because the show had a weird, dark, creepy look to it, which almost kind of falls into the horror category. Basically, it was kind of like the Twilight Zone, which had appeared many years before Ultra Q. Of course, later on in the same year, Ultraman was finally into production and eventually was aired on July 16th of 1966. Despite the show having only 39 episodes, Ultraman became such a popular series, it eventually spawned many more TV shows that were later known as the Ultra series, which introduced us to a whole new world into the kaiju genre. Despite all this, though, sadly, Tsuburaya then later passed away years later in 1970, which kind of leaves his great legacy behind. He was 68 at the time.
Oh my god, you guys, we're looking at a dead man's creation.
The show is about a group of scientists known as the Science Special Search Party, the SSP. The SSSP for short, as they investigate a whole sling of strange cases of monster incidents throughout Japan. In the first episode, the spaceship crashes down, killing one of the members known as Shin Hayata. Then, out of nowhere, came Ultraman, who basically felt bad for killing Shin Hayata, so he brings him back to life, only in exchange for Hayata to possess the power to become Ultraman? Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know, it sounds weird, but trust me, just watch the show, and you'll get it. Also, it just keeps getting even more weirder later on. Although later in the series, they would of course fight against creatures that are like, prehistoric monsters, or just strange aliens from outer space, stuff like that. All that good science stuff. As you can see, this figure is based on a line known as the Ultra 500 series, also known as the Ultra Hero series, and of course this figure is also known as Spark Dolls in Japan. Although when these figures were first released, they had a much more different purpose than what they are now. You see, these figures are actually based off of a show known as Ultraman Ginga, which came out in 2013. And in that show, it was revealed that there was this weird war that the Ultramen were going through known as the Spark Doll War. And basically, a lot of the monsters' souls kind of get sucked into these weird toys. And yeah, guys, I know, this whole series is weird. But, of course, that had to spawn a whole toy line because of how interesting they looked in the show. Because, well, just look at it. Like, just look at their fucking faces. So, of course, it only makes sense that Bandai made a whole series based off of these figures, and surprisingly, these figures became so popular, Bandai just kept making more and more. Although, these figures do have kind of a weird funny gimmick, which sadly my figure does not come with, mostly because the figure I'm going to review is the reissue version, and the reason why is because when these figures were first released, they had like these sorta like symbols at the bottom of their feet, and what you're supposed to do is that you're supposed to get like this other thing known as the Ginga Spark, Yeah, I kind of forgot what the thing was called, but I think it was like the Ginga DX bar. It was like it looked like a sword, and you were basically supposed to put the tip of the sword on there, and the sword would make like a sound, like, you know, like what one of the Ultramen would make sounds. But the only thing is, though, is that later on, the idea kind of got discontinued. So as we started getting more of these figures, they no longer came with these special tag at the bottom of their feet. So, of course, the version I am reviewing is the standard reissue version. The major differences is not really the figure, but you could definitely see it in their tags. Sadly, I do not have one to do a comparison, but maybe somewhere in the future, if I could try and hunt one down, then maybe we could take a look at that somewhere in the future. But of course, the major difference, of course, is the tag, because it's going to be very different from what you're getting. As you can see, this picture has a nice, lovely pic of Ultraman right there. As you can see, it says number 1 because, of course, he is number 1. I know you can't read Japanese, but I'll guarantee you it says Ultraman right here. You can also see the Subaraya symbol right there. You see Bandai right there. And as we open up, there is nothing in there. Okay. And at the back is just more Japanese stuff. You know, you get the idea. Whatever. Yeah. One thing I want to mention real quick before I take a look at the figure. I believe, if I'm correct, I think this picture is from episode 31 from the original series. I'm not too sure, although I'm pretty much, I think this is where it's from. Alright, let's take a look at the figure right here. Alrighty. Enough of that, now let's get to the actual figure. The painting and sculpting on this figure is very nice. I really do like the way it looks. It's properly painted, looks very nice. Looks like there's nothing missing. As you can see on the back, everything is nice. You can see here. So take a look at that. Yeah, the paint job is very nice on these figures, I gotta say. And it's a very accurate representation of how the character looks in the show, which I find to be very nice. As you can see here, right, let's take a good look at his eyes. It's kind of funny how you could kind of see the eye holes under too. I thought that was pretty neat. As you can see, we take a look at his chest here, right. I already showed you guys the bottom, but just to kind of double check. Alrighty. Now the paint job and the molding is very nice. Can't really say nothing else about it, really. I mean, it's a very basic figure for the most part. Of course, the one big thing you might notice about these figures is that they do have a very, very big lack of articulation. As you can see, he can rotate the arms all the way 360. Same for the waist, although the waist is a bit hard sometimes, but it's not too difficult. Although the only thing is that this kind of the way that these figures are sculpted. I mean, these figures, they're not really meant to have that much sculpting in them, which is not a bad thing. I mean, I just thought I'd kind of point that out there just in case, because I mean, these figures are sort of meant to be for kids. These are not really collector's figures, even though they're really nice, and adults kind of collect them anyway. I mean, you know, I find them very nice. I mean, I buy them off of eBay and Amazon all the time, so, you know, you got that going on. And yep, there goes Ultraman for you right there. So you're probably thinking everything else about the figure is great. So what about the size? Well, let's do a quick little size comparison. Here he is compared to Leonardo from Rise of TMNT. And yes, this is a figure that I have reviewed in the past in my Josh's Quick Toy reviews. The original Leonardo. Jason fucking Voorhees, who could barely fit into frame. Jack Pacific Rodan from Godzilla King of the Monsters. And last but not least, Ultra 7, which is a figure that I will review in my next video. So yeah, that's Ultraman from the Ultra 500 series. I really do like this figure, and I just love Ultraman, and I just can't wait to just review more in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!